now. Alright. Yeah. The assassin exchange request arrived from Britain about 1 year ago. Though it was hardly a request, it was a demand. And for that, you decided to recruit Mr. Hisogi? But things didn't go according to plan. Your chosen assassin never made it to Britain, and you found yourself unable to dispatch a replacement. Because I was already on my way to Britain at that time in Cosmo's place. That left me with only one option for carrying out my obligation. To eliminate the mark myself, personally. Of course, there was but a single opportunity for me to do that. The International Forensic Science Symposium, I presume? That's right. I decided it would be safer to carry out the plan before my arrival in Britain. So I enlisted the help of my British counterpart and made arrangement for a pretext that would take the inspector to Dunkirk. To lure the man in, he was given a sham mission by the Reaper. What? What? The Reaper?
Oh boy, here we go. Hold on, I gotta bring the mic over so I can at least talk into it. Oh god. This is hard. But there's only one person who could have done that. It's so bad, I can't do anything. I can't emote.
I'm gonna dump this.
Mastermind of the entire operation. The Reaper himself.
I'm gonna dump this Cosmo's death.
Ah! My son, he is sick.
He is sick.
So that means that the assassin exchange... It was all planned by the Reaper!
I'm not at liberty to say anything about my British counterpart. Anyway, the inspector accepted the Reaper's mission and dutifully infiltrated my cabin on the steamship. But it was all a trap designed to lead him to France and his own death.
Oh, how awful.
It was past 9 o'clock when I returned to my cabin from the dining hall that evening. I didn't give him time to attack me. I choked him until he lost consciousness. There was a guard just outside the door, so I left it at that for the time being. Even the slightest noise might have aroused suspicion, so I bided my time, waiting. For the 20 minutes after 10 o'clock. I had intended to finish him by strangulation, but moments before I had the chance, he suddenly came around and went for me in a reckless move. Oh, so he shot the gun. I received the British issue gun 16 years earlier, being a member of the judiciary as a visiting student. I never imagined I'd have to use it for something like that. So the revolver belongs to you, does it? But the victim was killed inside your cabin on the SS Grouse. Which begs the question of why you arranged for his body to be discovered in the room on Fresno Street. The young judicial assistant over there has already answered that question. There's no way I could take the body up on deck to throw it over the side. That's precisely where all the crewmen were gathered for the evacuation drill. So before the first-class cabin sentries returned, I took the corpse to the refrigeration room. And then on arriving in Dover, you concealed the body in your trunk in order to smuggle it past the border police. I knew I needed to take steps if the police were to be convinced where the body was found in London.
In that... In that... Jesus, I can't go any lower. In that case, you must have known. You... Fucking Christ. I can't go any lower. I hate this. You must have had intimate details of Inspector Gregson's intended schedule.
Yes. My British counterpart sent me everything I needed to know. The inspector was due at Fresno Street at 5 o'clock that afternoon in order to meet a man by the name of Hugh Bone, from whom he would take back his police identification. I decided that man would be the perfect person to set up as the culprit, so I took a hackney carriage over there with the body still in my trunk. That must have been just after we took this photograph with you at the hotel then. Hello, it's me, Inspector Gregson. Probably wondering how I got here. Yes, I was expecting a welcome committee. I was more than a little nervous.
Imagine if they just smelled the trunk smelling like rotting corpse.
Hey, Judge Jigoku, there's something awfully smelly. There's nothing. On Fresno Street, I spotted a young girl selling little firecrackers.
I just forgot to put on deodorant.
Miss Venus, of course. I conceived of the candle trick there and then, so I donned a simple disguise and approached the girl to buy enough firecrackers to replicate a gunshot.
What sort of disguise?
For some reason, the inspector had a bright red hairpiece in his own traveling case. What? So I put that on, although I suspect I drew more attention to myself in that than I would have otherwise. Yeah, an Asian man with red hair. What are you, the trickster?
The hairpiece we found at the scene. The inspector had it ready for the Red-Headed League investigation.
I only arrived at the room around 4:45. So I quickly placed the body on the floor with the notice board and set up my little candle trick. I arranged it so the firecracker would go off with a bang around 15 minutes later. So that Mr. Boone, who was due to arrive at 5, would walk straight into a trap. Except, at the last moment, I made a careless blunder. What was that?
I imagine it was a bag of fish and chips.
Huh! I didn't know that had fallen out of his overcoat pocket when I moved the body to the refrigeration room. I put it back into his pocket the following morning, but... well, seems the warmth of the heated cabin had accelerated the decay of the fish. Yeah, ill. Anyway, that's everything. All the sordid details of what I did. I fucking hate you, Ryunosuke. I'm cursing your fucking bloodline. What? Damn, he really destroyed a whole witness stand.
Mm-hmm.
I've heard enough. We arrived at the truth about the murder of one of the country's most capable and respected police inspectors. The witness will be tried in the coming days. For a crime of such a vile nature, you can expect a most severe penalty. And no one's a winner. There are no winners,
An
only
exchange of
losers.
assassins. What a foolhardy idea.
MS.
Oh, Jesus.
It's okay. I just have to be quiet.
Mr. Jigoku, one last detail. Who was your
My throat
counterpart?
doesn't hurt. I just need to be quiet.
Lefty. Who was your counterpart in Britain? Who was the mastermind behind the assassin exchange?
I guess this entire session is just going to be me doing a Lefty impression.
Nothing you say now can make matters any worse for you. Just tell us!
Yeah! No, enough! Didn't realize there was a word there. I already told you all cannot say.
Even though as things stand, you may very well never set foot in your homeland again.
What are you waiting for? Can we get this over with now? I'm finished. It's finished. All of it. I'm finished. Then, in the name of Her Majesty the Queen, I now pronounce the findings of this court. This man before us has admitted to the willful murder of Tobias Gregson. Haha, pyromancy. Sashiro Jigoku. It is the opinion of the court that you should be found guilty.
Well, see you at the gallows.
And may I remind all those present of the strict confidentiality demanded by this closed court. And moments ago, Mr. Jigoku signed a written confession, admitting to the murder of Inspector Gregson and the subsequent conveyance of the body. In short, the defendant's innocence has therefore been established beyond doubt.
Yippee.
Yippee!
Oh, wonderful! Well done, Mr. Naruhodo.
I really did show my resolve there, didn't I?
Roll credits.
Yes, thank you.
Is something wrong?
And now 7.5 more hours.
I'm just a little troubled by his silence.
Oh boy.
The true identity of the Reaper of the Bailey and his extraordinary assassin exchange. We do remain in the dark about these mysteries. However, insofar as the indictment brought against the defendant in this trial, we have reached a conclusion. I have every intention of pursuing both mysteries. As a prosecutor, get your bitch ass out of my seat, whore. As you wish. Now for the former adjudication. I hereby declare the defendant, Barack Von Zeeks, goddammit!
The prosecution calls for adjudication to be deferred.
Why do I feel like this is the start of something that's going to be happening for years? Counsel. Counsel?
The accused innocence hasn't been fully established at all. And therefore, it would be wrong to deliver a verdict at this time. I'm starting to get some emotion back, thank God. That is the prosecution's unwavering position.
What? What?
But Jigoku has already confessed!
Nevertheless, Barack Van Zeeks has committed crimes for which he must be punished. Oh boy.
DL6 incident.
Well, it would appear you have information that the court needs to hear, Prosecutor Impact.
Certainly. The murder of Inspector Gregson was actually carried out by Seishiro Jikoku. But it's clear from the witness's testimony that he was coerced into complying with the plot. Into this sick, merciless assassin's chain. Fuck.
That may be true, but please stop talking.
No. So what I want to know. No, I lost it. So what I want to know is who coerced Jigoku? Who was pulling the strings? Fuck. The victim went to France having been ordered on a mission for the Reaper, only to be murdered. In other words, the mastermind. Jesus Christ. My voice keeps getting higher, stop! No, in other words, the mastermind behind the assassin exchange is someone in a position to give such an order. As we've already established, the Reaper himself.
Well, certainly. That would appear to follow.
Prosecution hereby formally accuses the man in the dock, Barak Van Zeeks, of being the Reaper of the Bailey. And furthermore, I'm going to prove his guilt beyond all reasonable doubt.
What? What?
And so began the judge's drinking problem. Order! 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 What the fuck are you talking about? The Reaper of the Bailey is a long-standing mystery council. Are you suggesting you have some new information which to build a case?
Scotland Yard has already investigated Lord Van Zeeks very thoroughly in that regard. And they found no evidence whatsoever to substantiate the claim that he is the Reaper.
Perhaps. But circumstances have now changed.
What do you mean?
It's already been established that the assassin exchange was negotiated with Jigoku by the Reaper himself. Which means we now have a new line of questioning by which to identify definitively the man's identity. That was a long line of words.
Yeah.
That is the prosecution's intention here.
That's a lot of words you're spitting, unfortunately for you.
I can't read.
Please shut up. You're ruining my case.
I must say I'm surprised by quite how tenaciously you appear to want to besmirch my name, Assassin Boy. Assassin Boy who owes me money.
You.
Yeah, I know, sorry, I'm just
You're
typing stuff.
typing.
You are guilty of an unforgivable crime, Lord Van Zeeks,
Ah, sink.
and I will bring you to justice for it, whatever it takes.
Whatever it takes, I'll make the mistake.
That explains Cosmo's
Keep it.
silence before. The Sop had nothing to finish what Lord Van Zeek's unwittingly started 10 years ago.
Very well. Whilst it's extremely irregular, I will on this occasion grant the prosecution further opportunity for witness testimony. You know there's important people here, right? People have jobs.
I mean, they should have cleared their schedule. It's a closed court hearing.
Still very important people here. I think the Queen's over there. Queen! Hello! I don't know what that voice was. Don't ask me.
It was your queen voice, apparently.
The defendant will disclose any and all involvement he has with the Reaper and the Assassin Exchange.
I thank you, my lord, for guiding the court so wisely.
I hereby declare this court to be in session for a supplementary hearing. You may now take a piss break.
Okay.
Don't piss in the goddamn courtroom, you
Leg.
fucking swine.
Leg.
Threat and a blind eye to the discourtesy as I verify that this vile and unremitting accusation hasn't soured any of the contents of my hallowed chalice.
Lord Van Zeeks!
I first had to suffer the pseudonym of the Reaper 10 years ago now. And ever since that time, I have endured the weight of implied guilt that's gone with it. Ah! Why do I keep doing this? Ooh, blood. So I welcome the chance to testify now and crush those allegations once and for all!
Good. Then let justice decide, Lord Van Zeeks.
No, he doesn't exist yet.
Sorry. The prosecution seeks to begin building its case by calling the accused to the stand as the primary witness. In order that he may answer the accusation brought by the prosecution that he is the Reaper of the Bailey.
And you are the whore of the courtroom. I'm feeling sassy tonight. And what says the defense?
Putting
no,
the
no,
defendant
for
in the
once my
witness stand-
learned Penny's friend has the point.
Putting the defendant in the witness stand can be extremely dangerous.
He's doing the
And
desperate
Cosmo's so
emote.
emotional at the moment. He's not thinking logically.
You're right. You're right that he's not himself.
Not you, Bree.
But I knew it would be like this. I came here today to determine to face him through whatever might arise. As a lawyer, and as his boyfriend. It's getting a bit gay in here.
And that's
Conflict of
Well,
interest,
no.
death.
The defense has no objection, my lord. Even though I really want one.
I could really go for an objection right now.
Very well, defendant. You will take the witness stand. And give formal testimony on the subject of your involvement with the Reaper and the Assassin Exchange. As you wish, my lord. I have always hated the name. The Reaper's the bad. I much prefer death of the courtroom. I've never taken the life of another, nor have I instructed another to kill. I've been investigating the truth behind the Reaper for years, and I was aware of Gregson's involvement. That's the reason why I went to Fresno Street that day, and how I came to discover the body. The point is, you still owe me 500,000 euros. Pounds or whatever we're using at this time. It doesn't fucking matter, you owe me money! The point is, no common thread exists between myself, Gregson, and Dr. Wilson. Clearly, therefore, there's no reason to suspect me of being behind the Assassin Exchange. So you deny all accusations by the prosecution. Both that you are the Reaper of the Bailey and that you masterminded the Assassin Exchange. Mastermind? Dang and Rompa!
Albert Wesker.
Albert Wesker.
Da-na-na-na-na. I'm checking something real quick. I acknowledge that the public at large believe me to be the Reaper. However, that's a fallacy. I'm in them. Every currency, try to be the. I can't go. I can't do that song in the middle of a verse. I have to start from the beginning on that one. Which I am alone in the position of the four as well.
Naturally, the prosecution believes the testimony just given by the accused to be untrue. Ryunosuke Naruhodo.
What?
Let me ask you, why are you here? What really brings you to this courtroom?
Bitch, you!
Yeah, who wants to help you out?
I desire to uncover the truth. And also,
Even
you.
if the truth proves your client to be guilty? Are we gonna have a Matt on guard moment?
From all my experience in this courtroom, I come to realize something.
You can't prove anything, whore.
The truth can't be hidden. Sooner or later it will come out. So, it was always my intention to work with my client in pursuit of the truth.
I want you to remember what you just said.
I'm getting used to that now.
Enough dilatory chatter. Counsel for the defense, proceed to cross-examine the witness.
Yes, my lord. I know exactly what you're thinking, Kazuma. I know you're just waiting to point it out. The contradiction you're convinced lies somewhere within this man's testimony. Too bad. You're stupid.
I'm going to employ the most powerful defense the world has ever seen. So you. What is this? An autopsy report? Wait, this is 10 years old. From the autopsy of Lord Clint von Zeeks. What? My brother's autopsy report?
Hasn't been updated.
No, it hasn't.
I'm pleased to see the defense doesn't intend to run from the undeniable truth.
Order in the court? What reason do you have for presenting a 10-year-old autopsy report here, counsel?
This, the autopsy report of the professor's final victim, is an undeniable link between Inspector Gregson, Dr. Wilson, and the defendant.
I'm going to start calling you Phoenix wrong. I don't know what it means, but it sounds right.
Ah, Phoenix Wright. I like that name.
Wrong, I said, you infinitesimal worm. Not that accursed name again. The professor. Damn you, Xavier.
I've personally researched all the court records relating to that case. I know that at the time, autopsy was considered sacrilege to the victims' souls. And for a member of the aristocracy like Lord Clint Van Zeeks, it was unthinkable. But someone implored the powers that be to allow the autopsy to go ahead. Inspector Gregson. He declared that he was certain he would obtain conclusive proof from the procedure.
And it was Dr. Wilson who conducted the autopsy. His signature is clearly visible on the document.
I did not realize that this did not have a launcher anymore. As promised by Gregson, the autopsy did indeed produce evidence. Evidence that conclusively proved Greg Genshin Impact was guilty of the murders. In my brother's dying moments, he mustered all his remaining strength to leave a vital clue behind. Indeed, that was the key to indicting the professor for his crimes and the conclusive evidence that convicted him. I'll be right back.
Okay.
After this line, apparently. It enabled Lord Van Zeeks to avenge his brother's senseless death with a marvelous victory in court. In a Capcom game, nonetheless.
Dab.
I'll be back.
Alrighty.
Alrighty.
Yes.
A marvelous victory, was it? I wonder if that's really true.
And now we... We wait for that one word. What? What?
What?
Hey,
Hey,
hey, hey. What?
What? Same fucking brain cell.
Oh yeah, I signed up for another haunted hayride nearby my place,
Ooh.
so
Nice.
Cool.
I'm back, baby.
I'm excited to do my first
Are you gonna be a
cat
scarecrow?
cuddle shift.
Maybe. I don't know this year.
I have to figure out what book I want to bring. I'll probably bring my
Cat in a
Edgar
Hat.
Allan Poe. No, that's not long enough for an hour. I need something that I can at least read for an hour.
Cat in a Hat. Just reread it again and again.
No.
Just read the words slowly.
That?
Like that.
What's going on? What, huh?
Sorry.
Nick's signing up for a haunted hayride again, and Neo has to bring a book that they can read for an hour.
For my cat cuddling shift. They encourage people to read to them, and I'm like, fuck yeah, I'm gonna bring House of Leaves.
Those cats are gonna kill you.
No. Could the same be said if it turned out that the key piece of evidence in question was in fact fabricated? If the inspector, the coroner, and the prosecutor all colluded together to cast an innocent Japanese man as a mass murderer and send him to his death.
Oops. Sorry.
Oh, Jesus, excuse me.
Good lord.
Sorry. Sorry.
Quick. Yes, it is! Oh, sorry. I just go to Sims 4 and I need to check something, and oh, I forgot this has Simlish versions of We Are Young. That's outrageous. Contents enabled.
And now, 10 years later, for some reason the secret has been threatened and needs protecting. Which is why the inspector and the coroner had to be silenced, isn't it? By someone in power in Japan and in Britain, using the two killers recruited for the assassin exchange.
Political discourse. Someone knew, a lot of people knew about something that they shouldn't have.
Order! Order at once!
Once I'm 7 years old. Ignore me saying that.
What the fuck are you singing in my courtroom?
Nothing.
Guilty on all counts, including being of poor taste. Mod, send him to hell.
Better than you can. Sorry. 10 years ago, my father was convicted in this very courtroom as a mass murderer to be sentenced to death.
And
But it was
shit,
all a
right?
sham, and I swore to myself that I'd prove it. Which is why I had to come to Britain, whatever the cost.
So, Neo, what about that running theory that Cosmo's dad was a killer?
Like I said, I've had to rethink that now.
Vengeful Nipponese tenacity.
Why is there an eggplant suit in The Sims?
Why not?
No, never mind. Why is there a literal apple costume?
Why not?
Why is this add-on horny? Oh wait, no, I think that's literally the point. No, I retract my statement. That is literally the point.
Why not?
You'll have to forgive me if I feel compelled to toss this vengeful Nipponese's tenacity of purpose here. I told you I would still be racist. Ah! God's the Himmel! Oh, this is going to be passed down to my children at this rate. Ooh, blood. I felt a disturbance in my hand! That's the real reason why he dropped the gun. At the end of Phoenix Ray 1. Shards of glass just appeared in his hands. He who fails to quash his emotions in the courtroom has failed as a lawyer.
Come on, Cosmo! You know this won't wash! You're claiming your father was misrepresented in a trial that took place a whole decade ago? You must see that without evidence as... that's nothing more than a wild accusation!
As it happens, I have evidence.
What?!
As the court has heard, I crossed the channel to France with Gregson on the 31st. I went with him on the pretext of being the assassin recruited to kill Seishiro Jugoku. But my true intentions were to make the inspector tell me the truth.
Gregson to Cosmo. I'm fucking tired, man.
That truth. The truth that you are a bitch, I know.
The truth about the evidence, and he acknowledged what I'd already deduced. There's a closely guarded secret about what went on in that autopsy 10 years ago.
It's getting juicy.
Sorry, I saw some I was watching some Astrobot footage.
Oh.
Why is there a cube sex scene?
What?
What?
That's all I can describe that as.
What?
I'm going to post this in muted. Tell me this isn't what.
I'm worried.
Well, it's not explicit, but just watch.
I'm tired, boss.
That is too damn bad! That's a secret. Oh, nothing of any secret. That's why it's a secret, whore.
really going at it, aren't they?
While we waited for my supposed mark in Jikoku's cabin, I drew my clan's illustrious sword, Karuma, before the inspector's eyes. He very quickly understood what my true motive was. Oh,
Right. I see. You're that Sogi's young lad, aren't you? What? You gonna cut me down with that thing? Is that it?
that will very much depend on the answers you give to my questions.
What
I want
the
to know what
fuck
really
is-
happened 10 years ago.
Sorry, I'm distracted by. I checked Twitter and I just look over. I'm distracted by the trends on the side of my Twitter page. Apparently, the debate's going on, and I just see all capital letters. They're eating the dogs. Execute the baby. I'm talking now, and what is he talking about? No, Twitter. What are you talking about? What the fuck is happening?
Donald Trump's vice president retweeted about Haitian immigrants eating dogs. Which is not true, by the way.
I don't think it's something you need to say.
Yeah, but that's something I have to say.
You got an audience here.
I feel my brain leaking from my nose.
The truth. That's all.
Before we get into it, let me make one thing clear. I'm tired, boss. I'm gonna tell you everything. I still believe your father was the professor. There's no doubt in my mind. But unfortunately, back then, we didn't have the evidence we needed to make the crime stick. Well,
So, you admit it then? The evidence used in my father's trial was fabricated?
it was for the good of the country.
Oh no.
Anyway, I was just following orders.
Isn't there something similar like this? Where evidence was fabricated to, like, just kind of close down a trial early? I can't remember what it was for, but it sounds familiar.
I know Apollo Just, Phoenix Wright used fabricated evidence from Trucy. That got him disbarred.
Yeah, but I swear this happened before when I was a kid.
Excuse me. What do you
Oh,
mean,
was it
Rosemary?
Rise
No,
to
you
the
didn't
Ashes? I'm
television.
thinking. I think I'm thinking of Rise to the Ashes, where they fabricated evidence to. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking of.
Dame again used fabricated evidence to blackmail both Emma
Whippy
and
Choo and Rosemary.
Emma and Lana.
Yeah, and get Joe Dark immediately
Arrested
like
and
jailed.
executed.
Yeah. So that's what I'm thinking of. Joe Dark and fucking Professor kind of linked a little bit. Yeah.
But Joe Dark was actually a serial killer.
Yeah, Joe Dark was actually a serial killer. Genshin, not so much. Probably. Orders? What exactly did you do? Speak!
I'm not saying another word.
Even if your life depends on it.
That's right. Even then.
Ooh.
So that's when the tip of the sword broke.
Oh, Kazuma-sama. Oh, Kazuma.
If the results of Clint Van Zeek's autopsy were fabricated, then the investigating officer, Gregson, and the lead coroner, Wilson, must have known about it. They can only have been ordered to pervert the course of justice in that way by one man. The man leading the case for the prosecution, Barack Van Zeeks.
Wait a minute, I just remembered something though. That ain't true, cause fucking Mel Strongheart was gonna be the leading prosecutor.
Oh yeah, he was gonna be it, and then he let
Barrack do it.
yeah he let Barrack do it to avenge Clint.
In other words, the defendant did have cause to organize this exchange of assassins.
Why would this up my... Oh well.
Exactly. And as was established earlier, it has to have been the Reaper himself who liaised with with Jigoku in Japan to arrange the exchange.
Haha.
So it follows that the Reaper's true identity can only be that of the man who stands accused in his courtroom today, Barack Van Zeeks.
Whoa, bro.
Objection!
Objection!
Hmm.
Eureka! The
Kazuma Impact. $50 now, whore!
Let's see if we can make it to 100. Objection.
What? Hmm.
But you've just told the court. Are you absolutely certain of your facts? Did Gregson really fabricate evidence for that trial 10 years ago?
I heard it with my own ears. His shameful admission.
In that case, I know. The name is the
Oh.
Reaper.
Oh. What?
Lord Van Zeeks!
I gave no such orders. I know that for certain. Which narrows down the remaining possibilities. Too fun.
If Lord Van Zeeks isn't the one behind all this, then yes, there's only one other person who could have done something like that.
I wonder who it could be.
I believe I know who it is too.
I'm in danger.
You?
I just had a feeling this name was going to come up. The true identity of the infamous Reaper of the Bailey
Stop
is...
playing the pronoun game!
It's you!
Take that!
Damn.
The only person who could have arranged the assassin exchange and manipulated the autopsy reports is the Lord Chief Justice himself! Lord Male Strongheart!
What? Lord Strongheart?
Yes, it's true that 10 years ago the defendant handled the prosecution of the professor in court, but he only took over the case after his brother, Lord Clint Van Zeeks, has been killed.
I can only assume this is a most inappropriate joke in British judicial history.
I do not like this joke at all.
Not funny.
Didn't
laugh.
Well, Lord Van Zeeks,
10 years ago, I was very new to my profession. I had this burning desire to avenge my brother's death. And burning somewhere else. We don't talk about the whorehouse incident. So I pleaded for the control of the case. Dicks, and more dicks. It's it's a great gentleman's club. The investigation to that point was a supplementation of some sorts to allow my brother's corpse to be examined. All the evidence I was given, the autopsy reports, it all came from you. I've spent my life since then believing that I was in your debt for the way you stood aside and let me handle the trial. But I see now. I'm going to develop new slaws! I was very much mistaken.
it was a hugely influential force that caused the inspector and the coroner to break the law 10 years ago. And that same force was still felt a decade later on the other side of the world by Sashiro Jigoku. Lord Strongheart! Everything falls into place when we recognize that you are the Reaper of the Bailey!
Bitch, whose trial do you think this is? I'm God.
Leg!
Leg.
Get your smelly feet off your table unless you're charging. The court awaits your response, the Lord. This may very well go down in British judicial history, I assure you. It is no joke. I am German, I am incapable of humor. Consider this my former accusal by the defense.
Get his ass.
It doesn't warrant a response. A formal accusal. Don't be absurd. The defense's claims are utter nonsense, a wild fantasy at best.
You're not going to defend yourself?
Because it's easy come, easy go. You will let me go.
No.
You claim
Women on a jewel.
Is that Brian May? You claim there were some wrongdoings of Lord Clint Van Zeek's autopsy. That's utterly untrue.
Objection.
I heard it from Gregson's own lips. He admitted to it.
And where is your evidence?
What?
Gregson's dead now. Unless you were thinking of summoning a ghost to the stand.
Where's a fae when you need one? You mean to say...
What's Thetis when you need them?
Backwater? What the
What
fuck,
the-
dude? Dude.
Your racism is showing.
Yeah.
I forgot how the system works in your little backwater country. But in the courts of the British Empire, without evidence, there is no case.
Oh, okay.
I have no intention of entertaining some wild fantasy that can't possibly be substantiated by anyone or anything.
What if we just told on him on the Queen?
Order! Order in the court! Following Inspector Gregson's murder and in the light of Dr. Wilson's death as well, there's really no one left who could testify about the events 10 years ago. Is there?
It was to eliminate witnesses.
So that was the real purpose of the assassin exchange. This court has no business raking over the coals of a case that was concluded a decade ago. The accusal brought by the prosecution and the defense is categorically denied. I take it there are no objections.
Kazuma. He's more or less.
Better at racism than me.
He's more or less waited his whole life for this moment. Is there really nothing else we could do now? Is there no other avenue we could go down in pursuit of the truth about what happened all those years ago? If only there was someone who could testify about Clint Van Zeke's autopsy. There is someone. He's gone to extraordinary lengths to cover his tracks. He was so far as dispatching an assassin all the way to Japan to assure Dr. Wilson's silence. And Dr. Scythe won't say anything against Strongheart. But there's still one ray of hope.
Objection!
Yeah.
I think we all know him as Herlock Sholmes' partner. Actually, there is one person who could still testify about that autopsy.
Oh yeah, because he was involved with it.
Don't be ridiculous. There's no one left. That's not something an innocent person says.
Yeah. Who, Ryunosuke? Who? Tell me.
Jumps over the fucking table, shakes out. Kazuma,
Death sentence! Death sentence!
Please, this trial can't end. Not yet.
Everyone hear death sentence.
I'm not doing this for you.
Damn.
Except for me.
I'm doing it for the truth. The person the defense would like to call to the stand to testify at the autopsy of Lord Clint Van Zeeks is...
Take that!
Yagato.
Oh, God!
Heaven help us.
Racism is
Another
coming out.
Japanese.
Mm-hmm.
An expert in forensic medicine, my lord, Professor Yunjin Mikotoba, 16 years ago, he came to London with Sashiro Jikoku and Genshin Asogi as a visiting student.
What could his testimony possibly tell us?
Professor Mikotoba was a primary assistant during the autopsy in question. He was also the person who actually penned the report.
Thank God Dr. Wilson was so fucking lazy to pen the report.
correct. The autopsy was carried out by the coroner, Dr. Wilson. The report carries his signature.
It was the primary assistant's duty to keep a written record of the coroner's work during the procedure.
Huh.
In actual fact, the coroner merely read over the report at the end and signed it.
In other words, Professor Mikotoba witnessed the entire autopsy from start to finish. The defense demands that Professor Mikotoba be summoned as a witness as a matter of urgency. Whatever really happened in that autopsy laboratory 10 years ago is something only he can tell us. Bitch!
Bro.
This is what happened when you have a judge as a killer. They could just say no.
Damn it.
Nuh-uh.
The defense demand is denied.
What?
Because fuck you.
Skipper died.
But Professor Mikotoba is in London at this very moment! We could summon him to the stand in minutes!
No, of course he's not going to agree to it. Strong has no intention of summoning anyone who knows. He's too concerned about protecting himself. Well, yeah.
Prosecutor Impact. Let me refresh your memory, as you seem to have forgotten the prosecution's stance. Only minutes ago, you accused the defendant of being the Reaper and masterminding the assassin exchange.
I did, yes.
Someone's fucking desperate now. Don't do it, Kazuma. That's just what he wants. We live by the sword or die by the dumb.
Present your evidence for those claims and make your case complete. Take the L.
At this time, I don't have the requisite evidence. That's exactly why we need witness testimony. Distant past by everything.
The professor case is closed. There are no clues in the distant past that will bolster your argument today. I'm afraid to say, Prosecutor Impact. Yeah, you would appear to be possessed by the spirit of your late homicidal father.
Jesus, dude. What the fuck?
Lord Strongheart be like, sucks to suck.
Stop being a little bitch. Now, as I stated earlier, this court has already reached a conclusion with respect to the matter at hand. Inspector Gregson was murdered by Japanese Supreme Court Judge Sashiro Jigoku. As for any hidden circumstances that may exist, they will be investigated in due course by the proper authorities.
Objection!
But we all know what will happen! That would just give the mastermind of the whole venture time to cover its tracks again!
By which you mean me? Your punishment for this contemptible behavior will be decided at a later date. As for you, Prosecutor Impact, you will be remanded for following these proceedings. Willingly, I trust, since you gave your word.
Ugh.
This futile game of revenge is over, young Master Impact.
Oh.
You still owe me money.
Ah!
No!
Is this a bad time to remind you still owe me money? That
Hold it! Mr. Schultz?
I'm going to kill myself. I'm going to kill myself here on the stand. Goodbye, everybody. I'm going to go break a window and have the sun take me. This is no place for amateur detection, Mr. Schultz. Stop breaking in here. May I remind you that these proceedings are closed to the general public? You will leave the courtroom at once.
Mr. Sholmes was instrumental in the apprehension of Sashiro Jikoku before he fled from Europe. The court should hear what he has to say. Lord Mail Strongheart, it's imperative that you refrain from bringing this trial to an end at this stage.
Is it really? And why would that be?
You need only to recall your own words for the opening of the trial to answer that question. If I may. We will stop at nothing to uncover the whole truth behind these disturbing findings. Surely it can't be that the shock of being accused of being the Reaper yourself has erased that from your memory, can it? You're goading the fuck out of him.
Fuck. Discord?
Go.
Oh boy.
The whole truth, sir, has already been uncovered.
It would seem that we have a great many important members of the judiciary present here today. I put it to you, my dear fellows, should the trial end at this juncture? After all, why have you been invited to attend? To nod along to the prevarications of your superiors?
Oh god, he wants them to shut up!
Shut up! Shut up! Stop talking!
Looked at all of them. You're all executed.
Order! Order in the court. Pulling out my gun.
It seems to me that we stand before a door that leads to a new era of legal practices. A door that is ajar.
How can a door be ajar at the door?
Let it emerge from the shadows of the Reaper's decade-long ascendancy. For you and you alone, my dear fellows, have the power to push this door open now! Fuck the powers they be! Kill them! Put them in the guillotine!
Can't. Not France.
Send them to the gallows!
The auditors in the gallery have no rights to express an opinion on court proceedings. Silence!
He's right. The judge has absolute authority here. Yeah, you got the trial. It must end.
Yeah, because the trial didn't end. It must end.
I sense dark things occurring behind the scenes. Dark things indeed.
Is there a single person here to present something? What? What?
Where's the bathroom?
The trial should go on. Summon the witness.
That's right. We need to clear this up before the young Japanese fellows rip from. Oh.
My lord, you showed us praying you out the whole truth.
Vindicate yourself of this outlandish accusation!
The truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. That's the very foundation of British law.
A toast to my dependable colleagues in the gallery.
On with the trial! On with the trial!
On with the trial!
Testify! Testify! Testify!
Where's the bathroom?
I need the shit. Well, my lord, you hear the voices of British justice, I take it. And that
That's
one guy
right,
that wants
you're
the
damn
bathroom. I think you'll find it will be rather awkward to silence.
Oh, he's gonna be upset. Oh, what do you wanna do?
Trial's over, fuck you.
Pussy.
The court will recess briefly. I have no intentions of shrinking from these allegations.
Oh. Just
Bailiff!
Just. Oh.
Arrange for the subpoena of the witness at once. Put the boots to them, old style. As soon as the gentleman arrives at the courthouse, we shall reconvene.
A recess won't be necessary, my lord.
Pardon?
Mikotoba is a close friend of mine. He accompanied me today and is waiting in the antechamber as we speak. I do believe
Bailiff, get the gun! Bailiff, get the gun!
I believe we've been enjoying a little trip down memory lane, in fact.
Bailiff, gun!
Should we listen to him? I mean, he is the judge. Yeah, but he's kind of guilty, though. Yeah, you're right. Your Honor, we're unionizing.
The union doesn't exist yet.
Ours does. Bye. They all leave.
do everything myself.
What? Professor Mikotoba is here in the courthouse?
Mr. Sholmes, you didn't know this would happen, did you? My dear fellow, no one is in a better position to answer that question than you, surely. I wasn't just asking for the fun of it, you know.
Well, I must thank you for your assistance in this matter, Mr. Sholmes. However, you are of no further use here. Leave.
But of course, in truth, I find myself rather busy now as a result of these developments. Mr. Naruhodo! Yes? I trust you have Ira's little lucky charm with you. Absolutely, it's still in my pocket. She sends her regards and a reminder. If you find yourself at a dead end, the ears are at your disposal. Just one tug, if you please. Oh, of course.
In that case, the trial will continue without delay. Bailiff, show the witness to the stand. And trip him on the way over here.
So it's Lord Strongheart. He's the Reaper of the Bailey. Where exactly is this trial going to take me, I wonder? How deep am I about to be plunged into the blackness of the abyss? Well,
Literally, the door.
I'm ready.
He pulls the lever. There's a trap door that opens underneath Naruhodo.
Ah! I'm ready to head into the heart of this maelstrom and confront whatever horrors it tries to drown me under.
Oof.
Oof.
Can we pause it here? So, because I don't want to ruin my voice anymore.
Sure.
This does seem like a good spot to pause anyway. Oh boy.